What's up, people? We are live here. What is going on? Oh, we got one person at least. What's up, Jessica? Hopefully everybody can hear me. Everybody can hear me good? Yes, no, yes, no, yes. We got this shit fixed. It took forever for this to load, too. Holy shit. Yeah, I gotta get a new computer, but this is awesome now. At least I could do videos again. Dude, I still had Windows 7. I had to update to Windows 10 because Windows 7 is running out. They no longer support it, and my computer just wasn't working anymore. It wasn't working. Cameras weren't working. Nothing was working. We are here live. What's up, everybody? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Hey, Earth Angel, Jessica's in the chat. We got a whole bunch of people joining now. Good evening. Yes, I'm loud and clear. Thank you, everybody. So I have a live. What's up, Oopsie Daisy? And on. Nice, everybody. So people are joining. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds just for more people to come. What's up, Mark? Mark Woods is in the house. So I figured for like maybe a half an hour or so, maybe a little less, about a half hour, next 30 minutes, we could do a quick stream here. And if those who want to even donate to my PayPal or those that are patrons of mine will get readings, or we'll do some quick live readings, live scans. And those who want to donate as well to my PayPal at themysticalspiral.com will receive crystal in the mail. And those that want to donate over $45 will receive a tensor tool and a crystal. So this is an amazing package. And like I said, those that want to donate just a few dollars as well can receive live readings as well, real quick, a live reading. But if you're my patron, then you get them for free. So if you request it, so I figured we could do this, and a lot is being revealed, at least to myself. We all are humans, yes. Well, most of us. Some of us are not. Well, that's a whole nother. Let's not go there. But you know, there might be most likely what I guess what we could describe as even synthetic humans on this planet as well, and most likely we are living in a virtual reality. And somewhere our higher dimensional reality was replicated, and quite possibly that's what this realm could be. Right now it's a lower dimension, a parallel replication of our higher dimensional experience, and a lot is being revealed to me, and I'm finding more about my birthright and what even being a call bearer is. And a lot of people think it could be just a superstition to be given a certain, I guess you could say, I guess we could call them, I hate to use the word seer all the time, or psychic, because those are just labels. I think everybody has certain capabilities, but each one of us have a specific talent and mission and purpose on this planet. And collectively, I believe our purpose is to save ourselves and from what takes place on our future timeline. And I was born, like, if you guys never heard me talk about it before, real quick, I was born with the call, with the umbilical cord literally around my neck and the amniotic sac around my head and face and body. And this is looked at as being a call bearer, or someone who was born behind the veil or with the veil. And somehow you receive visions, higher dimensional experience. People born with the call usually become intense seers, or they get visions. They They learn about things before they happen in some ways, and they're sought after by not just the mystical community and the occult community, but the elites of the world and certain bloodlines. And it's my understanding, even, that over time, these bloodlines were watched. Even the Scythian culture and the red cap might come from this experience, from the call, and being born with a protection and the cap around you. Now, I think there's been, I mean, even Sigmund Freud was born with the call. Napoleon was supposed to be born with the call, right? A lot of people that were prophetic and seers were born with the call. And in most cultures, it's looked at as you're going to be feared and revered. And it's my understanding that the elites of the world, the occult, the hidden priesthoods would follow people born with the call, follow certain, find out, look, watch for these people, watch for births that childs are born with the call. In fact, I have come to understand that even certain covert operations with the military still have doctors on the payroll giving them the heads up on babies that are born with the call, and these kids are watched and they're followed, and they're tapped into, and they're and not only do dark forces surround them, but celestial forces surround them, and they're able to get psychic visions and be able to read people's auric fields, and they see higher, they have a higher dimensional experience. And at a young age, I was sought after by not only dark forces, but certain, yeah, I don't want to go into it because it'll take the whole session right now to get into it, and I have to go live tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, my radio show, and my guest will be Robert Robert Sullivan the fourth, and he is a high Mason. And it's not that I'm not having him on because I support Freemasons or anything. It's just that he talks about a lot of pacts with the devil and occult symbolism in movies, and I thought it would be a good idea to talk about him since I've had experiences with an entity that was trying to make a pact with me. And we're going to go into this tonight. Robert's going to be discussing things. I'm going to be discussing things and bouncing some things off of him that have happened to me and see how he responds to this. And it's going to be a really interesting interview. But so anybody who would want a reading now in the chat room, let me know, because I don't like to read anybody. I know Jessica's in there and she's a patron of mine for sure. I don't want to read anybody that doesn't want to be read. So that's something that needs to be requested, and it's not something that I force upon people. But if anybody wants a reading right now, we could do like a live quick reading of what I sense, sort of like a visual card reading in a way. It's a holographic vision, and back it up with what comes up to me. And it's good when I close my eyes too, and usually when you get certain symbolism, and that's why people use cards, tarot cards and things like this, because they're not getting the holographic vision of it completely. They need the little assistance of a divination tool. So like when somebody sees cards, if you're using your mind, or if you're using cards, like if you use your mind, you get the same sort of symbolism that comes to you holographically. Like especially if you see something with like a coin or a pentacles, or some sort of things like this. It's usually like, if it's like a woman or a man or a leader or a knight or king, whatever you would call it, right? It's usually someone that has very fair or blonde or light brown hair, or even green eyes, or bluish gray eyes. And if they appear like this, that's, if you see a symbolism like that, it's usually, we're talking about somebody of that sort of DNA. Right. And if you see something that is holding a sword or a dagger, and it's somebody like that's a knight or a king or a queen, something similar to that, where you would see these, right? This is somebody that's very dark. Now it could be dark skin. It could be a dark temperament. But usually when we're talking about a person, it's a person of very dark shades, brown, black hair, um, or brown or black eyes. So that's what I mean by DNA, by genetic traits. So, like, if you see a symbolism, is what I'm saying. It's like, and if you, something comes to you that is something holding a sword or a dagger, or and it's dressed like a knight, or it's dressed like a king or queen, or it's something like this. It gives you an idea that you're talking about um, a high spiritual situation uh, that's dealing with someone that has a dark shade, or somebody who has dark or black eyes, and it's usually black hair as well, brown or black, dark brown or black hair. Just like if you would see like the pouring of cups, or certain cup symbolism. This is usually somebody that has um, sandy or brown hair, and a medium shade to them. Um, just like if it's a wand, it gives you an idea of what the hair color would be. All of these different things, it gives you symbolism of who you're talking about, and it takes years to be able to interpret the holographic symbolism that you're seeing, and basically people talking to you with their eyes and charades. It's like holographic charades, and sometimes the sounds that you can hear, the colors that you can see, things that can come to you is way more real or intense than this realm ever could be. So let me know if anybody would like. Let me see in the chat room. Excuse me. So Dawn, I'll do a reading for you. Don't. It's okay. We could do a quick little scan real quick if you'd like it. So, and if people would like to donate, whether it's $2, $5, you can either donate on Super Chat, or you can even join. What's better is to donate right to my PayPal at themysticalspiral.com. So if Dawn, that's no problem. What comes to me real quick is definitely that it could be too that when you have certain feelings of hope, goals, you're looking for guidance, direction, purpose in life, inner satisfaction, sort of like you're looking for psychological meaning, psychological insight. I can almost feel like you're sitting there and you're almost saying you're like wishing on a star. That's what's coming to me. It's almost like I'm seeing you looking up, and you're looking for like a higher meaning. You're looking to like almost like you're looking for inner satisfaction. Um, Almost like you're looking to the stars, and like almost sort of like wishing on a star. That's the kind of symbolism I get. It's almost like too that if you would relate it to the star tarot card, if that's what you would relate it to, it would be like um, it's usually a symbol like it has like somebody that's a woman that's naked, that's kneeling on her knees on the ground, and one of her foots, I think it's her right foot, is like stuck in the water, and she's pouring water out of a vase into a pool, like a pool of water into a pond, and there's in the background basically like a star shaped sun, and it's like almost like a planet. It looks like a huge star shaped sun, and it's almost like you're that star card is someone that's looking for hope, They're looking for ambitions. They're looking for I'm reading, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat room as well. They're looking for some sort of guidance, inner satisfaction. So if that's kind of what I get from it, we can even go deeper into like an auric scan. I could do deeper things, but that's definitely something that I would want to talk privately. We're just like, this is kind of for fun because it's in front of other people. So we're going to do my quick symbolism, sort of like a quick, holographic card reading, because there's other things that I sense that I do not want to say out here on the chat room. I think it would be not professional for me. So we're going to keep it just level, we're going to keep it sort of fun. So BB6, White Diamond, that's very interesting. So now, okay, so now I don't want to scare you at all, but what's coming to me is things got to get better. I mean, a little worse before they get better, but there's a transformation taking place. And, this could mean anything from a transformation from this realm into the next, like a literal death, or it could mean you're changing your life's course. You're becoming, you're regenerating. Now, even when you regenerate, though, like if you are, you're a caterpillar about to become a butterfly, right? When you liquefy and you become that butterfly, you still retain the memory of your prior life, your prior self. So during this transformation, even when you rebirth and arise, you will still have to deal with and go through certain things, right? So this is what I'm sensing. It's almost like if it was a tarot card, it would be the death card. But death doesn't necessarily mean you're going to die. It could mean that it's a complete transformation. It's a reincarnation of a rebirth, a change in your life course. Thank you, man. Thank you. You feel it. So definitely, I understand. Thank you. It's a blessing and a curse to have this gift and to be able to read people. And anytime I've had a DMT release or ayahuasca that I did in the past, and I do not recommend anyone just going out and trying this to benefit from DMT or ayahuasca or anything like that. And my first DMT release was, of course, from a near-death experience. So it wasn't because I was looking to get high or looking to, I literally had to die, and it was a DMT release. And later on, I learned what it was. But to really benefit or to comprehend what's taking place during ayahuasca or DMT, you would have to do many, many years of spiritual research and experience to be able to just not be confused, be able to get something out of it that's worthwhile, so you can actually live a normal life afterwards again. Otherwise, it might drive you mad. You'll never be able to comprehend what you were being shown. And it's not appropriate for just the average Joe that's watching TV all day to just go do this. So I do not recommend it in that way. And I do recommend if you're going to do something like this, that you should go through a lot of spiritual research and cleansing before you do. Yeah, well, I see a complete change of course, Mr. White Diamond. Now, like I was getting symbolism that is similar to, if you were doing tarot, it would be like the death card, where it's sort of like a rebirth, a death of a new one life and the beginning of a next. So it's like that sort of symbolism can mean you're changing your course. But it's a big change, of course. Like it's a rebirth of a whole new you that you're not going to be, that you never were before. So I'm Miss Firehorse. I'm doing readings for people. So it's okay if you guys want to donate a few dollars or something like that, either my PayPal, that would support. But otherwise, I'm just going to do them for people if they want one. Um, you know, I'm doing like lighter readings. I'm not gonna. I could do body scans. Uh, if you're just joining us, I was talking about how I was born a call bearer. I was born with the call behind the veil, and it's my understanding. The more research I've done into it, that other people that were born with this have certain experiences that I've had, and these bloodlines, or I mean these rare births are watched. They're followed, and I do believe that it's a reason. Everything happens for a reason. When you're born in that pod, that amniotic sac, like that, um, it's like that's your mission in life. And I believe that us call bearers are here to either contribute to evil or fight evil, depending on what you choose in your life. And I've been fighting evil most of my life. Even as a child, I was fighting it off. Now, as a grown man, I can understand how to guard other people from it and actually do some good. As a child, I was just defending myself from it. And it's just, you're either drawn to it, or you're drawn to fighting it, one or the other. And for a long time, I was confused, as a young child and as a teenager. And you run from it for a little bit, but then when you come to your senses, you realize that if you continue to run from it, you'll definitely be taken to the evil part of that gift. And so one of these gifts of being a call bearer happens to be having second sight. And it's a blessing and a curse. And so is anybody else that we wanted to go through this? Check this out too. I've been going deep into the Zohar, big time. And what I've been learning by digging into the Zohar is I'm figuring more about what happened to our who we are, and artificial intelligence, and what happened and how we ended up in this realm. It's almost like a DMT commentary of the Bible. Yeah, it's English Zohar, which I guess, but it's written by rabbis, translated by rabbis, and it has the Aramaic with it as well. Yeah, so I guess it would be a heresy originally to be English Zohar, right? But now they got millions of different copies of the Zohar. But this one is by Stanford University. It's the Pritzker edition, and I have all the volumes. But there's a lot, and they're thick. And it's Daniel Mott. He's a rabbi and a Kabbalah. No doubt. Firehorse, you wanted a reading? Well, the Zohar is Kabbalah. I've been researching all areas of mysticism. For years I was studying the Vedas. Of course, Italian mysticism my whole life. Slavic, all sorts of cultures. Egyptian, like I said, the Vedas, India. So now, what comes to me right off the jump, Firehorse, now it would be similar to someone that is basically like if you were dealing with the tarot, would be someone in the Pentacles range. So this would be someone that is very fair skin, blonde, light brown hair, blue, gray. So there's someone or something that's related to you that's coming up with blonde hair, or having fair skin even. So this is usually, and what I'm getting is that you're sitting in, it has to do with like getting a lot of money, high finance, um, big things coming to you, like a lot of comfort, uh, living in splendor, living, so um, or you're getting your something is coming. Uh, like a big check is on its way, or something like this. Like almost like there's little coins falling out of the sky to you. Like it's you know. So this is something like where you're going to be you're going to be having a lot of security. Um, Something like that is coming. Now it could mean uh, you're getting check from like a welfare or unemployment or civil service or anything like that. You could get big checks. Something like that is coming, or some sort of what's it called, like uh what's it called when you get disability, or some sort of check, or some sort of big big settlement or something like that. It feels like that there's like some sort of comfort coming your way. uh yeah, so something like that, or an inheritance. That's a good, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Inheritance, it's like almost like you're getting a comfortable living, big money at it coming out of nowhere, or something like that, and a big check is coming on you, or something like that. So that's definitely what I get. And what comes to me too is the number nine. Number nine is what comes to me. So that's a strong, very strong number, one of the most mystical numbers. It's like triple the the triple god. It's like triple the triple. So golden report, that would be you next. You would want one next. And then I gotta go in a minute, because I gotta be live in about 50 minutes. So um uh okay, so what comes to me too off the jump is sort of like you have difficulty making up your mind. Um, that sort of like you're going to be making a change for the better, but it has to come. It has to be like really desired. If you were, the sort of symbolism I get, like if you were doing from tarot, it would be like all the cup cards are in front of you, and you can't choose one. You don't know which one to choose. That's the kind of symbolism I see. Like you kind of don't know which how to make it. It's something going on where you don't know how to make up it's hard for you to choose. Almost like a dream-like state. Um, almost like the cups can even have enchanting jewels in them, and you're just being blinded by them. You're just caught in the amazement of it. You're stuck in the fog, stuck in the dream-like awareness. And well, Mr. L. Wiener, we're doing live readings for people. uh, um, Now, also, I don't know, people are just joining. If you want to donate to my PayPal as well, $45 or more, I will send you crystals in the mail and a tensor tool. So this is a great holiday gift. You just got to shoot me the PayPal and send me your address, um, and let me know that you were in the chat room or whatever. So White Diamond, you can email me, and I'm not going to go into personal stuff on a live chat for you. Just we're gonna keep. So I do have advice for you. Or at least I could try to point you in the right direction. You're welcome, Mr. Golden, Z Golden Report. So, is there anybody else, real quick, before we go? Well, I already know Wiener. I just felt it. So, Mr. Wiener, I get a very lonely vibe, and so something to deal with, hermit, maybe like you know, so you're searching for self, you're searching for identity. It could be even for self-esteem, or you're just I feel alone, a loneliness, almost like a hermit. If it was the tarot, it would be the hermit vibe. You know, but I do get the feeling that I do get the feeling that I'm not missing. I get the feeling that you need to seek to find, and you need to knock. Knock on the door so it can open up for you. That you're staying away from things, and you know um, hmm. I also feel like you're a very concentrated vibe, um, almost like stand at attention type vibe. Um, I don't understand what you're saying, Mister Buddy. Not Mrs. What does that mean? So I definitely do get that vibe that you're staying. It's a very lonely vibe. Did I say I didn't say it was a boy. Wiener. No, Wiener. I do get a very lonely vibe. There's some sort of hermit almost vibe. You know, that almost like the door's closed, like you're sitting at the door, but you won't knock at it. That sort of vibe. That's what I see. I see you. Uh, do exorcism. I see. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure what you mean. I didn't even mention anything about exorcisms or anything like that. Um, Protecting the children. So you're saying you're protecting children, flushing evil. See, I'm seeing symbolism of a church right now. Um, it's almost like an ancient monastery. Um, Now I do see it surrounded by. Hmm, I don't know. I don't know how to say this right, because I feel like there's like an increase of. I feel like there's an increase of something. that is related to not just finances, but there's an increase of energy that's coming through it. What you're talking about, that seems like it's good, but it's actually it's feeding on that. Um, I don't really want to talk too much more about it on here, but I do see a sort of like an abstract world, almost like it's hard to put it into right perspectives, but there's I, I'll just go back to what I originally said, that the best way I could describe it is that there's an important door in front of you, but you're hidden from it. You stay away from it, almost like it's a very lonely existence. That what you really need to be doing is right in front of you, right at the door, but you refuse to knock at it. And that's how best I could be. Now, it doesn't mean that you live as a hermit. It doesn't mean, but it's a very hermit sort of lonely feeling. So that's the best way I could describe what I feel. So now, specifically, if you want to say what's going on with the children, I can tell you real quick what I feel about that. I feel definitely that there's an innocence, a young, a strong young love, and that I think that there's some sort of personal commitment that is, I don't know if that led to this sort of like pull between good and evil, but there's some sort of personal commitment attached to that situation that is putting you in a tug of war between good and evil. So part of it is in like infatuation, and part of it is that you have, it's just like uh it's a struggle. I think there's some sort of struggle going on between the good and the evil within that situation. So it might not be exactly what you think it is. It's almost like, I it's a sort of symbolism, like, it's like almost where it's become part of you, like you need that, like day needs night. It's like the opposite, but it wouldn't work without it, you know so that's what I'm getting from it. It's almost like it would be a symbolism in tarot, would be like almost the lover's card that I'm getting from that situation with, I guess, your children. It would be you know a very strong union that you can't live without the other. That's what I'm getting. That's what's coming to me, that kind of symbolism. So there's just a lot of other confusion with it too, that I just feel a lot of confusion with it. So I'm not sure the situation is what you think it is. um or if you're even telling me the truth about the situation. So I don't have enough information, but um there's stuff that I'm feeling that I can't read appropriately, and I can't give you the correct answer. So my original opinion, um what I first saw before I go, was, I'm going to say what I stuck to, that I was getting symbolism, that there's a door in front of you that is the answer to everything, but yet you stay cloaked from it. You stay alone. when everything right there is right in front of you, right at the door, and you just refuse to knock at that door. So whatever um whatever, whatever you were feeling, or whatever's going on that you were, when you asked for the reading, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Now, of course, I could be completely off, but that's what usually my interpretation could be a little off, but usually what I'm seeing is correct. It's usually spot on, so just my interpretation might be off, but that's what I saw for now. Who was? Let me see if there was anybody else, because I see a lot of just L Wiener. I love it, the Wiener. It does sound like it would be a guy's name, but I think it might be a Jewish background, right? I know I grew up with. Listen to this. I had people uh that lived behind me growing up, and their last name was Wiener. Was a Jewish family, and their name was the kid's name was Jack Wiener. Tell me that isn't ridiculous. The kid's name was literally Jack Wiener. They literally, his first name was Jack, like Jack Wiener. Come on, man. I mean, you got to be crazy to name your kid that. And then the other son's name was Richard Wiener. So that's two Dick Wiener. I don't know. People, I mean, it could be worse. Yeah. I mean, but it's pretty funny. I mean, I had another kid. His last name was Head, Peter Head. So that's another one's like Dickhead, Peter Head. So who else was there? Jess, did you want one real quick? Jessica Tonsfeld, that's one of my patrons. Jessica is a good person, very good person. Ann Robinson. All right, this is the last one, and if Jess too, Jess or Ann, I one or two of them. So if Jess wanted one, all right. So I'll do Ann real quick, and then Jess last. So. I should light some sage because I'm feeling like heavy now. Okay, so I do see for Anne, what I feel is that there's some sort of break coming. There's a cutting out or cutting away of something. A splitting, or a leave of absence, or a taking a leave, or stepping away from something, parting, separation. There's some sort of break or separation coming, a parting of ways, a broken friendship, something like this that I'm sensing. Doesn't necessarily be sometimes getting rid of something is good. So that's definitely what I feel. Now, if you were doing tarot, it would be sort of like a swords card, maybe like even the six of swords. That would be something that I would feel. Yeah. So if you're just saw the last video I did with Leak Project of Malta, I've been doing videos on Leak Project for like 4 or 5 years. All the way back to one that has like over 300 or 400,000 views. Devil Meets Musician, I think it's called. So I've been doing videos on Leak Project for many years. So if you've only just seen the recent Malta one, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So I do see it surrounded by possibly a sense of regret or a sense of loss by this splitting. So it might be something that's positive, but I do sense that it's surrounded by something that's going to make you feel a little bit of sorrow. It could be related to a loss of a relationship or something like that, or something to that effect. So, all right, last one would be Jess. So, Jessica, I'm gonna I just totally gonna think like I've never met you before. So what's coming to me now too is almost like if you were to look into tarot, it would be like the fortune card, the wheel, the wheel of fortune card. Now the wheel of fortune card is about progress. It's about it could mean a leading to traveling a lot. It could be growth, but it's you know, life is a gamble, and there's always going to be a turn of events, um, and it's constantly turning from bottom to top, top to bottom. It's spinning, and it's coming around, and everything's always it's going to pass, you know. But it's about taking a turn for progress. It's about taking a turn for the better, for work, better, going ahead. It's about being in the driver's seat no matter what, and being in control of your destiny, of your life. You know, so that's definitely what I'm first thing I'm sensing and what I'm getting from it. It's similar, like just look it up what the Wheel of Fortune card would be. And that's sort of the symbolism that I'm getting that's coming along with that. So I gotta go. I gotta go set up for Truth Frequency Radio. I do a live show. I'll be live in about 30 minutes on Truth Frequency Radio Network. So I gotta make sure my mic's all hooked up and I'm set up on their platform. I gotta log in and everything and get hooked up to their station and all of that. So, wow, Jess, thank you. So, I think I was pretty spot on with everybody. The one person that I might have been, having a little trouble with was El Wiener. Shoot. So if I read 6 people or whatever it was, and I got 5 out of 6 perfect spot on, that's pretty damn good. So thank you, everybody, and I'm looking forward to talking with you guys again. I had to get Windows 10. I still had Windows 7, and apparently Windows 7 is not being supported anymore as of January. But for some reason, it wouldn't take my stuff anymore. It wouldn't even take my things I plugged in until I got a new Windows. So thank you, everybody, for being patient. We will be doing weekly chats on my Zoom for patrons again. My Patreon is patreon.com/the mystical spiral. You can donate at my PayPal. And thank you for anybody who donated Ms. Firehorse in the chat room here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. Anything helps. And like I said, if you want to donate at my PayPal for $45 or more, I will send you a custom tensor tool with the crystals. And that's a great package. And that's shipping and everything. So it's a Christmas package for stocking stuffers. And thank you. And say it with me. Spiral out. Go to tfrlive.com. I'll be live with Robert Sullivan as my guest tonight. Spiral out.